Hey everybody, my name's Ryan, and here at eTrailer we install, test fit, and review a lot of different parts. That way we can try to answer any questions that you guys might have. And that's exactly what we're doing today on our 2013 Nissan Frontier. We're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with a 4-way flat connector. Many Frontier owners use your trucks to do a little bit of everything, which does include towing. And that's where our 4-way flat connector is going to come into play. It's going to provide our trailer with the necessary lighting functions, not only to remain safe, but legal as well. So if you're looking to get your trailer down the road, this is going to be a great solution for you. Now, one thing I would have liked to have seen is a kit come included with some brackets. That way you can secure it to your hitch like we have ours today. You don't have to use brackets. You could always use the dust cover to kind of loop around your safety chain openings and do it that way, but I think this provides us with a much cleaner appearance. If you need some of these brackets, you can pick them up right here at eTrailer. So this dust cover that is included is going to do a good job of help keeping those terminals protected when you're not using the wiring. But since this does live outside, I do suggest to go a step further and every now and again just apply some dielectric grease to those terminals, and that's really going to prevent any potential corrosion that could happen. And I'm sure many of you are probably wondering, how do you know if your truck has a factory tow package? To be honest with you, I've seen quite a few of these, and more often than not, they have that factory tow package plug already. So chances are pretty good yours probably does too. And to find that out doesn't take a whole lot of time. Everything's pretty easy to get to, and see if you can identify that plug, which whenever we go through the install, I give you a real clear shot on the plug itself and where you can find it. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do that together now. To begin our installation, what we're first going to do is assemble our harness that gets plugged in up here on the passenger front side of our truck. So pretty straightforward here. One side is going to have a single connector, which will plug into a factory connector eventually. The other end is just going to have 3 open connectors, and the 3 open connectors are going to get plugged into some relays which are included. So this style relay, this blue one, will get plugged into the white connectors here. Like so. Then our brown relay is going to go to the brown plug. So now that we have this put together, we can find our factory connector, which should be located here on the passenger side up by the kick panel. So to get to our connector, we're going to have to take off a couple of panels here. Really straightforward. We're first going to remove this piece, kind of a 2-in-1. It's part of our kick panel as well as our threshold, but you can just kind of grab behind it and pull it up and snap it loose. There's just a couple of plastic fasteners here that get pushed down into there. So once we have this removed, we can set it off to the side. So to get our actual kick panel off, we're going to have one plastic fastener right here. You can take a trim tool or a flathead screwdriver, kind of just pry underneath it, pop it loose. If you grab the kick panel and kind of pull towards the center of our truck, that will release. We'll set that to the side. With that out of the way, we can locate that connector. Now sometimes these are kind of buried a little bit, so you might have to kind of reach back in there. In our case, ours is right here. So as you can see, it's just a bare connector, nothing plugged into it. I'm just going to kind of grab it and pull it out a little bit, make it easier to work with. But our new wiring is simply just going to plug right into that connector. So the end of the connector will simply just pair up with our factory connector. Now you can't plug this in backwards or anything like that. So if it's not wanting to go in one way, you might have to spin it around. It should go nice and easy just like that. So I went ahead and just kind of tucked our wiring back up in there. That way it's not bouncing around, and make sure it's secure. Now once we have that done, we can simply take our kick panel and reinstall it the opposite way that we removed it. And then we're able to do the same thing with our threshold. We'll just line it up and pop it back into position. So now underneath the truck, over here on the driver's side frame rail, we can locate our other factory connector. So if you look on that frame rail, we're going to see a handful of connectors there. And the one that we need to focus on is this gray one right here that's not plugged into anything. Now the factory does put in what's called a dummy plug. It's more or less just a cap to prevent dirt and stuff from getting inside the connector. You will need to remove that. Push down on that tab and try to work that connector out. Sometimes it helps to use a flathead screwdriver. Sometimes these things kind of just get stuck together. So if you push down on the connector and take your other flathead and kind of pry that out of there, it should make life a little bit easier. Pull that out, set it to the side. We won't be reusing it. And then we can grab our four-way wiring here. And this is just going to get plugged right in. So I do suggest using some dielectric grease since this will be outside. This will help prevent any corrosion, anything like that. You can find it here at eTrailer if you need some. Just put a little layer over there and simply just plug it right in. So before we worry about securing our wiring, I just want to place it into our mounting bracket. Now, this bracket does not come included with the wiring, so if you want to do it like this, you'll have to pick it up separately. And we sell these brackets, as well as many others, right here at eTrailer. With that being said, four-way is just going to get pushed right into it. And I'll just take our little rubber dust cap and put that on as well. So I went ahead and secured my wiring up using some of the zip ties that come with the kit. Here's how it turned out. And then on this bottom portion here, what I've done is just took some wire loom and placed it over that. You can pick this up here at eTrailer. And some you don't have to do, but I think it helps clean up our install look a little bit. At this point, it's a good idea to test your wiring to make sure that it's functioning properly. I'm using this little tester, and you can pick it up right here at eTrailer. We'll go ahead and try our left turn signal, our right turn signal, our brake lights, and our running lights. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with the four-way flat connector on our 2013 Nissan Frontier.